Hi, welcome everyone to another episode of Let's Talk Special Economic Zones. I'm your host, Ainsley Brown. Today's episode, we're going to speak about special economic zones and e-commerce. I strongly believe that special economic zones and e-commerce are a match made in heaven. The reason why I say this is one of the central features of special economic zones. Special economic zones vary around the world and are called different things, enterprise zones, free trade zones, foreign trade zones, free zones. It varies. Export processing zones, it widely varies. But there are some common features that are associated with it. And one of them is, for want of a better term, the suspension of duties. So once you bring in goods that would normally be dutied or charged duties at the border into the zone, they are not charged duty until your next decision. And if your next decision is to bring it into the domestic territory, then they're charged duties. There are some other features such as different corporate income tax rates, but typically that's not universal. But this particular one about duties is universal. So, for example, if you compare the US foreign trade zone regime with others, they don't give the fiscal incentive of corporate income tax. You pay your regular corporate income tax. However, you do gain the duty suspension, if you will. And so, as I said, this is a universal feature of special economic zones. And why this is important to e-commerce is that just imagine you are importing goods from all over the world to service your clients. You're an e-commerce company. You'd be able to bring those goods in, store them in your warehouse duty free because you're a special economic zone until the time comes that your customer purchases it. You then build in the cost, of course, with the duties factored in, and then it's transported to your customer. If, of course, it's in your domestic territory. If it's going overseas to another territory, the duties would take care of themselves on that end. But nevertheless, the goods here or in your zone remain undutied. So imagine you bring in flat screen TV, let's say, and it's coming in from China or somewhere else or Japan or somewhere, and let's say that it has a 10% duty on it. Now, the regular importer would bring that in and at the border be charged that 10% duty. However, because you're a special economic zone and you have that suspended duty, I guess, fiscal incentive, you would not be charged that unless or until you then sold that flat screen TV into the domestic territory. And that postponement, that model in logistics, postponement model is worth something because you're not spending that cash now, right? You're spending the cash later, or well, really it's the client that would be spending it, but it's not charged until later. So there's a delay or a postponement of that duty. So that's why I believe that special economic zones and e-commerce are a match made in heaven because those two things can come very well together. So if you like this episode or have any suggestions, and I've received a few suggestions and I'm working on getting some of those episodes done, just please like, share, comment down below, and I will see you next time.